Okay, Tube. Mm, just giving you guys a little heads up on what the Meps experience is like. Um, it's not too bad depending on which one you go to. We went to Meps in Harrisburg. Yeah, I know I'm from Georgia, but we actually went to Harrisburg, and reason being is because I chose to use a recruiter out of Philadelphia as opposed to one from here in Georgia. The recruiters here really weren't too responsive, so I ended up going off to Philly and got a recruit out of Philly because I'm based in Philly with my airline. Um, Basically, Meps is military entrance processing. They pretty much do the ASVAB over there. They do your medical. Um, and basically, when you ship out, I heard you go to Meps, but on the reserve side, we got to report to our base, and then we out process that base, and then we ship to basic. Um, I went to Meps 3 times, and the reason being was for my left ear. I had some problems with the left ear, wax buildup from flying and pressurization and wearing headsets and all that stuff. Um, so I ended up going 3 times. Um, just some points to note before you go to MEPS. Make sure you find out from your recruiter first of all, will you be doing the test on the day you arrive or the following day when you do the medical? That's the first thing because I got a surprise when I got there. I was doing the testing that day, and I sure as hell wasn't ready for it. I was tired as hell from traveling from Georgia, cause I flew from Georgia early that morning. I think I took like a 6:30 flight. I got there. I had to hop on a bus and a train to get to his office. Then we drove an hour and a half. So I was up the entire night, cause I had to prepare for work too out of Philly. Um, Make sure you got your social security card because the first time when I was supposed to go to Meps, I didn't have my social security card, so I couldn't go. I ended up going back home. I had actually lost my wallet, which I actually retrieved last week, and this was way back in December. December 8th was when I was supposed to go. Just to give you a heads up on the Meps process when you go there, some things to expect. They could be rude as hell. They could not. Um, if you go with a group, you're more comfortable. If you went, by yourself like me, it's just you. So if you're like me where you interact with people, you get comfortable pretty easy because I talk to everybody, find out who's going where. So it wasn't too bad for me, but I really was so tired the first day that I just didn't really talk to anybody much. I just sat by myself, like, half asleep. Um, no cell phones at Maps. That's a biggie. No cell phones. They take your fingerprint. That's for identification. Use whichever one you like to take a picture of you, whatever. Um, the ASVAB. Buy an ASVAB study guide. Believe it or not, the study guide is actually way harder than the actual ASVAB. And across the board, everybody I asked said the same thing. The book was way harder than the actual ASVAB itself. Um, the ASVAB was kind of long, and I got so tired that after the first 45 minutes, I was literally looking at questions and falling asleep. So after the first 45 minutes, I just started reading and guess an answer. Read, look at the answer, pick the best one. Read, look at, pick the best one. And I did that, and it took me probably about an hour and 15 minutes. And coincidentally, everybody else was done around the same time I was done. Come to find out, they all got tired of all the questions, cause it's like a whole bunch of questions, and they all just started clicking and clicking and clicking, and we all went through it like real fast. I mean, and then to top it all off, you're tired as hell, and the test administrator is going to be like, okay, come and sign you off of that, and then give you another test that's like 150 freaking questions. And it's questions, and it's asking you over and over and over the same thing. Like, it might ask you, how was your day? And, or what is a typical day for you? Do you get mad easily? And 2 questions down, the same question is going to pop up. Or sometimes it comes up back to back. So after you finish that's all good. And Let's see, you go out and you wait. It's a lot of waiting at Meps on the first day. Um, that's if you did the test and then come back the next day for a medical. You could do the medical and the ASVAB in the same day. You do the ASVAB first and then the medical after. So make sure you check into that. You don't have to do it on the first day. You can do it on the day of the medical. Let's see what else. After you finish at Meps, they actually another thing about the ASVAB. They gave you an they gave you an envelope like this. Make sure you get an envelope. I didn't get an envelope. So after the test was done, when everybody else was getting test scores, I didn't get a test score. And some other people didn't get a test score because we didn't get envelopes. So I had to wait till the following day to get my test score when I was doing my medical. And they didn't give it to me. I actually saw it on my forms. So yeah, that's not them. Make sure you get it if you want to get your test score. Mm, okay, from Meps to take to a hotel. So we sat there. We were done probably about 3:30, 4 o'clock ish, and we sat there till about 7:30. Got on a bus. Bus drove us for about 15 minutes to a hotel, and we checked in at a hotel down in the command center, where some guy who was probably in the military before was checking everybody in, and he's older guy, way older. Sit down, everybody sit down, be quiet, no talking. Hey, didn't I tell you no talking? Shut up and get out. Kind of like that. Um, you got a room at Meps. Don't think when you get there you got a room by yourself. Nope. My first roommate was going to the army, I think it was, and he was going to blow stuff up. Kind of cool, but yeah, I don't want to be blowing stuff up. But yeah, he's going to be driving tanks and blowing stuff up. Yeah, you check in, you get dinner from about 8:30 until 10:30, 11 o'clock. Dinner was pretty decent. Dessert was off the hook. Mm, you go to bed, curfew's at 11 o'clock. Girls are on the second floor, guys on the first floor. You're not allowed to go up to the second floor. Girls not allowed to come down on the first floor. You get up at, I think it's 4:15 for a 4:35 report. Remember, you gotta take a shower. Word of advice: get up a little earlier, probably about 10 minutes earlier, like 3:50. That's what I did. 3:50, took a shower, reported downstairs at 4:30. From there, you get breakfast from about 4:30, 4:35 up until about 5 o'clock. You hop on a 5:15 bus and head to Meps, and good stuff. That's where the medical began. Mm, for the medical, word of advice: you want to be in group one. If you're not in group one, you're probably going to be at Meps for a really long time. I was in group one. They put you in a room to give you a briefing. If you lie on this form, you're subject to illegal, whatever it is, and you get a fine for $10,000. And basically, recruiter tell you, don't take yes. It's not that he's telling you to lie. Basically, what it is that unless it's chronic, you don't need to put it on the form. So, like different things, like for example, like HIV, yeah, you want to put that on your form. You'll be disqualified anyway, but you got to put that. Asthma, if your asthma is not chronic, no need to put it on the form. Yeah. Um, yeah, they go through that form. They go through it really fast. It takes about 30 to 45 minutes. And then processing begins. Eye exam, blood draw, hearing test, um, physical. um, we all went off to the blood draw. It was about 7, 8 of us. Some went into the eyes, some sat at the blood draw. I did my eyes. I got 20/20. Surprising. Um, from there, I went to do the hearing test while the other guys were getting a blood draw. That took about, I think, 5 to 7 minutes. You press a button when you hear the sound and put these headsets on. Um, from there, I did my blood draw, then a urine test. Then you go into a room where I call it the first embarrassing moment in the military. take your clothes off, down to underwear. You sit on a cold bench next to a cold window, and you check your height, check your weight, check your blood pressure. Um, you go into a room with a doctor, and some guys got, yeah, I didn't get that. You know, he just said, take your underwear off, bend over. Oh, yeah, you're good. Okay, good to go. They ask you why you got fired from a job. If you did get fired from a job, then they put us back in the room, still no clothes on. And then you had to do duck walks and, you know, drop to your knees, stand on one foot, stand on the other foot, walk fast over there, walk in a circle. Um, Different exercises, running in place, you know, things like that to make sure you got no injuries. Then from there, that was pretty much it. You know, that was everything. We sat down with it in the other group, and that took a long time. My recruiter came and picked me up about 11:30. You know, usually they get done at right about 1:30ish. So, you know, first group we were out, and that was it. That was processing. Um, any other hints from Meps? Can't really think of anything yet. Um, but yeah, it's a good place to meet people. You know, all three times I went, met really cool people. They all had the same experience as me, trying to get into active duty, and you know, recruiters not calling them back. So luckily for me, I got a pretty decent recruiter. Once again, make sure you ask your recruiter everything you need to find out. If you don't ask, you're not gonna find out. He's not lying to you. I mean, it's the rule. You ask, you will receive. Um, I guess that's it for now. That's it about maps. If you guys got any other questions, you know, I didn't go into too much detail in it. Well, I kind of did a little bit, but if you guys got questions, you know, hit me up. But yeah, look out for my next video and listen.